A wonderful day to you, our dear viewers. Welcome to another edition of the Complete Sports Update. My name is Abib Kuranga. This is the show where we'll bring to you the latest and trending stories in the world of sports. For today's episode, we shall be taking a look at some of the matches played across the Europe's top 5 leagues. The Carabao Cup Final is finally here as Liverpool are set to battle it out against Chelsea for the first piece of silverware in the 2023-2024 season. Super Eagles star Kenneth Omeru reveals determination and camaraderie played a key role in the side's successful 2023 African Cup of Nations outings. These are some of the topics that shall be discussed right here. Do sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is the Complete Sports Updates. Joining me for today's episode is the one and only Ado Amosu, who is obviously making his first appearance of the year 2024 exactly. He went to cover the Nigeria's Super Eagles outing in the 2023 African Cup of Nations. And here he's back with us and is ready and pumped up as always. So welcome back to the show, boy. Right. And how is everything as regards to the tournament, the Eagles, and
Well, it's good to be back on the show once again. Well, for me, it was a successful outing for the Super Eagles in Ivory Coast. There was pessimism about the team going into the tournament. So I think the boys did well by at least coming on with a silver. So, like I said earlier, it was a good outing. A successful outing for the Super Eagles.
Yes, definitely it's a successful outing. But without any further ado, let's just put the Super Eagles of Nigeria to the high pedestal that they are currently and focus more on what we have today. Yes, sir, the Carabao Cup Final is on Sunday. Will be played on Sunday between the English giants Liverpool and Chelsea, and all talks have been around Liverpool with the injuries they have currently in the squad and everything. So now, do you think how do you think the tie will go?
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting affair between the two teams. Just a few weeks ago, Liverpool defeated Chelsea 4-1 in a league game, but since then the Blues have really bounced back with convincing performance against Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and against Manchester City last weekend. So, like I said, it's going to be a really tough encounter for Liverpool in the first place. If you consider the fact that they have a lot of key players injured at the moment, and the Blues, they are probably in a buoyant mode for now. They are smoking from the performance against Manchester City. Personally, as a Chelsea fan, I don't really expect what I saw from the boys against the champions. So if you take that performance into cognizance, I think we are in for an exciting moment on Sunday evening.
Yes, so as far as finals are concerned between these two sides, the last two finals obviously have been in favor of Liverpool. The 2019 Super Cup Final, the 2022 Carabao Cup Final, and also the FA Cup Final in 2022. Interestingly, they all ended via penalty shootouts in favor of Liverpool. Do you think something of sort might occur in this encounter?
Well, aside from the 4-1 victory for Liverpool that we saw recently, if you go back into recent matches between the two teams, it has always been a ding-dong affair, a tight affair between the two teams. So we can expect another tight game this time around. So for me, I think it might go into penalty too.
It might go to penalty, and that will be some sort of a shock because 4 finals consecutively and they all ended in penalties. But you definitely be fancying Chelsea to take this encounter.
Well, sure. I think it's a 50-50 affair. If not for those injuries, I would have said 70-30 as in favor of Liverpool. But having those key players out, it's going to be a massive boost for Chelsea. So, and I see them going all out, at least getting something good under Mauricio Pochettino.
So, still talking about the Premier League, away from the Carabao Cup now, Manchester City actually, dropped pace against Chelsea in the last time out in the Premier League fixture, which Liverpool and also Arsenal won their respective fixtures against Brentford and Burnley respectively. So now with Manchester City currently second on the log, all thanks to their victory against Brentford, on Tuesday. So do you think this title race can be some sort of knocking Manchester City out and try to bring in Arsenal as well as Liverpool into this mix, because the way this Manchester City have been somewhat of blowing hot and cold, as you just put it that way, although they've won 11 games before the draw against Chelsea. So do you think it's going to come into that state where Manchester City might struggle in the Premier, because they still have other competitions, the Champions League and also the FA Cup to contend with?
I think it's going to go down to experience and the depth in the three teams. If you look at Manchester City, they have the experience going for them. They have a good coach, an experienced coach who to many is probably the best manager in the world at the moment, and they have a lot of quality players in their squad. So for Arsenal, they have a lot of quality players in their team. I think they bought well in the summer. You have Declan Rice coming into the team and a lot of other guys too. So the experience of missing out on the title last season, I think when you serve them well this time around, that would probably be a huge motivating factor for them. So for Liverpool, having some of their key players out at this stage of this season is not a good sign of a title contender, and I think it could probably play out against them at the end of the season.
Well, we definitely wish each and every one of the three teams, the very best as far as the season running is concerned. So one of the most experienced Super Eagles players, that's Kenneth Omeru, when he was interviewed, he said something like, determination and camaraderie actually stick the Super Eagles players together, and they got that enough experience to go all the way to the finals. I think if you ask me, the game that acted as a turning point for them was the game against Ivory Coast. That was the second group stage match. Ever since then, they've been very compact at the back and also trying as much as possible to get their opponents are scared as far as that front line is concerned. So what do you have to say as regards to the comments made by Kenneth Omeru?
Well, I think Kenneth is actually right. He, alongside Ahmed, the captain of the team, Ahmed Musa, they are the most experienced players in the team at the moment. And if you look at the performance of the team in Ivory Coast, you could see that camaraderie, as he said, the unity in the team was top notch. Super Eagles, when you tend to believe they can't really do it, when they have their back against the wall, that is when you see the best of them. For me, I think the first game was a turning point. Coming out with a 1-1 draw against Equatorial Guinea, a country many felt probably they should run over them easily, but they could only get a point from the game, and the fact that they missed a lot of scoring chances in that game. So going to the game against Ivory Coast, the guys were highly determined to prove a lot of Nigerians or doubters wrong, and you could see from there they moved on from that to the game against Guinea-Bissau, to the game against Cameroon. You saw the same energy, the same spirit against Cameroon. So you could say, okay, probably the level of determination dropped in the game against Angola and South Africa and in the final, but I think the players, they really wanted the title and they fought for themselves, the coach and the country.
So that's the words from Ado Amosu, who of course went to cover the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and they just concluded 2023 Africa Cup of Nations. Thank you very much for the insightful analysis. So viewers, this is where we shall be drawing the curtain as far as this episode is concerned. Do take care of yourself and bye for now.